Today on Public Eye News, UP Health System Marquette nurses voted to strike for a second time to fight for safe staffing levels. And more details are out on the suspect in the Waffle House shooting.
Caleb Rydell will have our weather forecast, and Max Stevens will have an update on the NBA playoffs. Hi, I'm Anthony Cilia.
And I'm Ryan Gooch, and this is Public Eye News. The Upper Peninsula Health System Marquette has responded to a strike authorization vote that registered nurses held Friday and Saturday. The decision for the strike authorization came on Saturday after a two-day vote. According to UPHS Marquette, a contract bargaining session was scheduled for today between nurses and hospital administration. In a statement responding to the decision, Victor Harrington, a UPHS Marquette spokesperson, said, quote, "We are disappointed with union leadership's decision to schedule another strike authorization vote, rather than focusing their efforts at the bargaining table. Regardless, we are continuing to work in good faith to finalize an equitable and responsible labor agreement, and we are scheduled to continue our negotiations with the MNA on April 23rd, May 8th, May 9th, May 22nd, and May 24th, end quote. End quote. And former Finlandia football coach Robert Boss was arrested in Marquette over the weekend. According to the Marquette County Sheriff's Office, Boss was recently in jail for domestic violence aggravated assault, but he has since posted bond. NMU's Chief Marketing Officer Derek Hall released a statement on Monday about conducting an investigation into allegations against Boss. The former interim head football coach Boss previously worked for Northern Michigan University for 8 seasons as a defensive and offensive line coach, academic coordinator, run game coordinator, and in 2016 he was named interim head coach and was named Finlandia's coach in 2017.
This Wednesday, April 25th, Northern Michigan University will host a Blacklight Zumba Masterclass to benefit NMU's Marquette, Ending Hunger, and Food Recovery Network organizations. A PEEF pass is required for members, but non-members should bring canned goods in place of having a pass. Last year's event brought in roughly 75 people, but definitely had room for more, and the hope is to bring in more people, which will result in more food donations. All participants are encouraged to wear glow-in-the-dark clothes. The event will take place from 7:30 to 9 p.m. inside the Vandement Arena. All are welcome. And state and local law enforcement and drug enforcement administration is giving its 15th opportunity in 7 years to prevent pill addiction by ridding homes of potentially dangerous and expired pills and patches. On Saturday, April 28th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., you can bring your unused, unwanted, or expired prescription drugs to participating precincts, offices, or departments. The service is free and anonymous, so no questions will be asked. And the DEA cannot accept sharps or liquids, but last year Americans disposed of over 456 tons of pills through the program. The initiative is addressing a vital public health and safety issue and disposes of prescription drugs safely.
And Leanne Walters, a woman who played a key role in exposing the lead-tainted water in Flint, Michigan, along with 6 other people from around the world, is to be awarded a Goldman Environmental Prize for grassroots environmental activism. The Goldman Environmental Foundation announced the winners of the award earlier today. Walters was repeatedly turned away by Governor Rick Snyder's administration despite confronting regulators with bottles of brown water from a kitchen tap. Then in 2015, it was revealed that the water system was contaminated with the help of Virginia Tech and a local doctor. And a Veterans Affairs hospital in Wisconsin has begun using non-traditional therapies for pain and mental health to avoid opioid overuse. It was one of 18 veteran hospitals across the country launching the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs Whole Health Program. Victoria Brom, director of the Tomah VA, said, quote, "We're trying to really change the environment to be one looking at the entire veteran, what the veteran wants in their lives and what's important to them," end quote. Whole health coaches help VA patients set personal health and wellness goals, address chronic pain and prevent illness or injury, and treat mental health needs. And after the break, we'll be back with your national and international news. Stay tuned.
In my boyhood, Henry County, Kentucky was almost entirely a farming county.
Wendell Berry has been the voice of rural America and a champion for a way of life that is quickly disappearing.
Independence, thrift, stewardship, political liberty, family. I think when the traditional people disappear, the traditional values will disappear.
Look and see. Wendell Berry's Kentucky.
Tonight at 10 after Antiques Roadshow.
And welcome back. Bill Cosby opted not to testify in his sexual assault retrial as his lawyers retested their case on Monday, setting the stage for closing arguments and jury deliberations. Closing arguments will be held Tuesday in the case that pits Cosby show star against a woman who says that he drugged her at her suburban Philadelphia mansion in 2004, then sexually assaulted her when she was unable to resist or say no. The 80-year-old Cosby didn't take the stand at his first trial either. The first one ended with a mistrial after jurors deadlocked on the 3 related counts of aggravated indecent assault. If convicted, Cosby could get up to 10 years in prison on each count. And Nashville schools are under extra tight security while police search for the gunman who killed 4 people at a Waffle House restaurant early Sunday morning. The gunman was wearing nothing but a jacket when he fired a semi-automatic rifle. Police say that the suspect has been in trouble with the law before, and Meg Oliver has the latest from New York.
Dozens of federal police are on the move with Nashville police in the search for 29-year-old Travis Reinking.
At this point, I can't tell you that he's still here. If he comes out, we're going to be there to get him.
Police say Reinking was half naked when he opened fire with an AR-15 assault rifle in a Waffle House parking lot early Sunday morning. Police say he killed 2 people outside the building and 2 inside.
Everybody ran. I went in the bathroom, and all I could think was, where's my brother?
Abetta Da Silva's brother, Aquila, was one of the victims.
He looked up to me, but I looked up to him at the same time because he was real smart. He was a real good guy.
Another customer, James Shaw Jr., was injured when he wrestled the gun from the shooter.
I grabbed him and I grabbed the gun. And I started hitting and punching and doing anything I could to get the gun ajar. Just kind of grabbed it from him and I lifted it real high and I just tossed it over the counter.
Police say Reinking fled without a gun or clothing. He recently moved from Illinois to Nashville. The Secret Service arrested him in July for entering a restricted area near the White House. He was demanding to see President Trump. During that arrest, police seized 4 weapons, including the gun used in the Waffle House shooting. The firearms were returned to Reinking's father, who admitted giving them back to his son. Meg Oliver, CBS News.
The French president's visit to the United States begins today, and behind the state dinners and friendly meetings between President Emmanuel Macron and Trump and his administration lies a campaign to position Paris as the White House's best friend in Europe. A lot is riding on Macron's shoulders as he desperately attempts to stop Trump from killing the Iran nuclear deal. During the 3-day visit, the young French leader will attempt to use his charm to get Trump to change his mind. A visit to New York from Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif has increased the pressure on Macron after Zarif said a withdrawal from the pact would only further diminish the U.S. standing among its allies and adversaries alike. And as President Trump welcomes French President Emmanuel Macron to the White House, the 2 leaders are expected to tackle a number of pressing international matters. This as the upcoming American summit with North Korea takes center stage, with some Republican lawmakers expressing skepticism about Pyongyang's nuclear concessions. Mola Lenghi has the latest from the White House.
The ultimate goal is denuclearization. They've already started making some steps that we feel are progress, but we certainly know we have a long way to go.
White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders clarified an earlier tweet from President Trump who suggested North Korea had agreed to denuclearization when it had not.
What does full denuclearization look like to this president?
I would think it looks to this president like it would to every other person across the world. It means that North Korea doesn't have and isn't testing nuclear missiles.
Pyongyang did agree to close its nuclear test site and suspend long-range ballistic missile tests as both sides negotiate a potential summit in May or June.
But some Republicans say they are skeptical North Korea is ready to abandon nuclear weapons.
It's an easily reversible decision. They made no announcement about their medium or short-range ballistic missiles.
Great public relations effort by Kim Jong-un.
Negotiations with North Korea coincide with a deadline to renew the 2015 Iran nuclear deal that President Trump has threatened to abandon. The deal will be a major focal point in discussions between President Trump and French President Emmanuel Macron during his visit to the White House this week. Mola Lenghi, CBS News, the White House.
And this morning, the Duchess of Cambridge gave birth to her 3rd child, a new prince who was 5th in line for the throne. The prince is yet to be named, but Duchess Kate and Prince William will have one picked soon. The newborn's older siblings, Prince George and Princess Charlotte, have already been introduced to their brother and are excited for his homecoming. The Duchess has already been discharged from the hospital just in time for dinner. And come back soon, because we'll be right back with your weather and sports. Stay tuned.
The first civilizations began when humans built cities.
This is the engine of invention.
Worshipped gods.
Religion helps create a cohesive society that allows a civilization to form.
Invented trade.
It's what enables the society to progress.
And waged war.
It's an unfortunate byproduct in the development of civilization.
This is how the modern world began.
Tuesday night at 9 on Public TV 13.
Welcome back. I'm Caleb Rydell, going to be taking you through your weather for today. As you can see behind me, we have a lot of that snow melted off as the sun has been blaring all day, upwards in the 60s. We're going to take a look at our current conditions. Right now, it's sunny outside with 65 degrees, winds out of the southwest at 7 miles per hour, and a barometric pressure of 30.20 inches and falling. Taking a look at tonight, we're going to see partly cloudy out there with 38 degrees and winds out of the southwest at 7 miles per hour. And tomorrow, sunny outside with a high of 44 and winds out of the north-northwest at 12 miles per hour. Across the UP, we are going to see a whole lot of sun out there, and the only clouds we can see out there right now, Sault Ste. Marie, 59 degrees, Manistee with 56, Escanaba with 56, and down in Menominee, 55. Taking a look at the western half of the UP, we're going to have a triple 62 degrees out there, starting with Iron Mountain, Ironwood, and Houghton, all with 62 degrees and sunny out there. And back here in Marquette, 65 degrees, and also that bright, beautiful sun. Let's take a look at your week ahead. On Wednesday, we are looking at things cooling off a little bit, going to a high of 41, low of 29 and some sunny. We're going to get some rain Thursday, but it's still going to be hot out there with a high of 58 and a low of 31. Friday, getting back there in the middle with a high of 41, low of 29, and partly cloudy out there. Well, Max, things are definitely heating up. It's hot, and I tell you what, NBA playoffs, I hear things are heating up as well.
It's playoff season, Caleb. I love it. Last night was a great night for NBA playoff action with 4 big-time Game 4s played. The Milwaukee Bucks won their second straight game to even things up with the Celtics at 2 games apiece, courtesy of a last-second tip-in by Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Spurs avoided a sweep by the Warriors by picking up a 103-90 win in San Antonio last night, bringing the series to 3-1 as it moves back to Golden State. The Wizards defeated the Raptors 106-98, evening the series at 2-2 as play shifts back to Toronto. And finally, in a bitter and hard-fought victory, the Cavaliers defeated the Pacers 104-100, continuing with the back-and-forth trend of that series. Tonight, another exciting night in the NBA playoffs as 2 pivotal Game 4s will go underway. At 8 o'clock, it's Rockets versus T-Wolves. The Rockets led the series 2-0, but the Timberwolves struck back on Saturday, picking up a critical home win to bring the series to 2-1. That victory, the first playoff win in the history of the franchise without Kevin Garnett. Then at 10:30, it's Jazz versus Thunder from Utah. The Jazz lead the series 2-1 and tonight have the golden opportunity to take a 3-1 series lead back to Oklahoma City. The Eastern Conference remains dormant today but has 2 exciting matchups slated for tomorrow. Tonight, a big night for the Stanley Cup playoffs as well, as both series that are still going on will play their Game 6s. At 7 o'clock, it's Bruins at Maple Leafs in Toronto with a closeout opportunity on the line for Boston. And then at 7:30, it's Caps versus Blue Jackets as Washington heads into Columbus with the opportunity to finish the series. The winner of the Maple Leafs versus Bruins series will advance to face the Tampa Bay Lightning, while the winner of the Caps Blue Jackets series will be matched up against Pittsburgh. And with that, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you very much for joining us today on Public Eye News, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.